grew up with my mother and father till I was about 7 because mother was a drug addict, my father was a drunk, and they didn't mix well. And so my father moved out of the home and they separated, and so I went kind of back and forth between the two for a couple weeks at a time. It was not a good environment at all for me to be in, and my dad knew that. And he knew my mother was not doing a good job of taking care of me, and he knew that he wasn't doing a good job either. So he called his sister and my aunt and uncle and asked them if they would take care of me, and they very willingly agreed. So I went to live with them when I was 7 years old.
He started realizing that the behaviors he was learning, the currency he was learning, he was doing that so he could go back home because it was his fault, he felt. And he felt, if I learn how to control myself, how to act right in this situation, then I can go home, never realizing that it never was about him.
Once I knew what was going on, and once I kind of had figured out that I was gonna be there for a while and that it wasn't just a visit, it hit hard, and it caused a lot of problems and a lot of pain.
And when he realized that he could be the best kid in the world and it didn't change and he couldn't go home, that's when
he shut down.
He shut down, and it was just, it was a struggle, just the most simple things.
I didn't deal with it well. I would take it out on my aunt and uncle and my family there because I felt like since I couldn't have my mother and my father really in my life, that there wasn't really a point in pushing for what I had.
Nothing made him smile, nothing made him sad, nothing made him mad. He was just
No
not
emotion.
there. And that was a very long day. But at the end of that day, we knew that something had to be done for him.
My psychologist, he suggested camp. We needed help, and this is where we found it.
I'm addicted to wood smoke. I'm immune to mosquito bites. I never take a shower 'cause I might go to water. I'm a camping boy. I'm a camping boy. You look at
We tell the boys when they come, and tell the parents as well, that our goal isn't to provide a home, but our goal is to provide a place where the boy can experience healing and the family can have a chance to heal, and they can be reunited and back into relationship with each other.
The first few months were difficult. I was quiet, but then the problems started coming out, and they were really bad. It's intimidating at first. You know, you live in here for 5 to 6 weeks at a time with a bunch of guys with problems. And they've all basically pretty much got the same problems you do. Most of them have very similar home situations and dealt with some of the same issues.
You know, we always say at camp, we do a lot of things to help kids and to help families, but the bottom line is, it's God's work. And when He's at work in a family and when He's at work in a boy's life, that's when we see really wonderful things happen.
Camp life is different. You do group work all the time. You're with 10 boys and 2 other chiefs almost all the time, from waking up to going to bed, brushing teeth, doing our meals together. My main role as a chief is to be a friend, to be there for Travis or any of the other guys, no matter what. Meet them where they're at, encourage them. That's so important, because a lot of guys don't see their potential at all.
Just the love that they showed each other and showed me, and the perseverance, the determination that they were not going to give up on me, and there was nothing I could do to make them quit. To realize to accept them as a family. They were a family to me, and they made me realize, that I need to push for what I have. I need to have the passion for the family that I have. They are the kind of people that I can go to. I trust. I could go to with anything, and I feel like I can talk to. All-time favorite memory of this campsite. Their strong relationship with Christ really showed me what I needed to do. I had been a Christian since I had lived with my aunt and uncle, and I'd been baptized and everything, but I never really pushed for that kind of relationship with God. Never really had that passion for Him. So my chiefs really showed me that, and that's what I needed. And so we talked about it, and when that relationship with Christ really strengthened, that's when things started getting better.
Then he became the kind of person who was a leader in the group, who could help other boys that were struggling make progress on their goals. And so the transformation was just very very complete.
When you changed Travis's life because he was here, it changed my life, my husband's life, our children, those around us, my mom, my dad,
Church family.
our church. Everybody that we know has been affected by the change in Travis because of what Baptists in North Carolina have done for us. They didn't know us. They just knew they loved God and they loved his children.
God was telling me, you know, just be who you are and know who you are, and you're the person I meant you to be, and to be who I really am, and just truly honestly be the person that God wants me to be. That was when it kind of clicked. And once you deal with your problems, and I got my problems fixed, and I was able to adjust myself to the point where I was in a good place, to be able to help the other guys, that was a big deal for me. I love helping people. People are a big part of my life. I have a passion for people.
I don't know that I even have words that can describe the beautiful person that we knew Travis could be. He's so much more than that. And I know that being here at camp has done that. And I think specifically things here at camp, not just the chiefs just living their lives for these boys, but churches, church families from all over the state. They come here to camp and they bring boys gifts. Or when the boys go to a church visit, they're just loved completely, like they've known these boys all their lives. Travis said to me after he was home for a homestay one time, he had been at a church visit, and he says, Aunt Karen, they really love me. I am worth being loved. Travis is just special. And Baptist Children's Home Society Cameron Boys Camp was able to pull that out of, it had been stuffed so deep down inside of him. And that's out now, and there's no stopping him.